Are you willing to take a step forward? On this week's episode of Homeowner Prep, we're going to be talking about being mortgage ready and being willing to take that first step. Welcome to the Homeowner Prep podcast, where every week we educate and encourage aspiring homeowners to help them buy their first home faster. If you aspire to own a home, you're in the right place, so enjoy. Do us a favor and leave a review, a rating, and be sure to subscribe. Now let's get to this week's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Homeowner Prep podcast. I'm your host, Eric Halan. And on this week's episode, we're going to follow up to last week's episode. On our last episode, we actually talked about being willing to take a step back, having to take care of some form of fashion of what you need to do in order to get ready to buy your first home. And sometimes that meant taking a step back as opposed to taking a step forward. But on today's episode, we're going to focus on a recent study that was done by Freddie and helping people understand what it takes to step forward. Being willing to take that first step really comes down to a mental mind shift. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and be willing to do the things that are necessary to achieve the goals that you have. Now, obviously, the biggest goal that we talk about is becoming a first-time home buyer. So getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to buying your first home may involve you filling out a mortgage application to see just how close you are to being ready to buy your first place. In a recent study that was done by Freddie, they found that there is a large amount of Americans between the ages of 18 to 45 who are considered mortgage ready. So what does that mean? A mortgage-ready American in that age bracket means that they have the income to buy, they have the credit score needed to get approved for a mortgage, and most importantly, their debt-to-income ratio is within the range that they can use to qualify for a home. So these are Americans who are either renting or living with family who are ready to buy but haven't taken the first step. So my question to you is, are you willing to take that first step? You might need to fill out a mortgage application, see where you're at and how close you are to actually getting approved for a mortgage. And then of course, working with a company like Homeowner Prep to get you there. One of the biggest reasons why people reach out to Homeowner Prep and sit down with us through a free consultation is because they want to buy a home and they want to buy that home faster and smarter than they could on their own. So when we sit down with you, we're going to create a game plan that's going to get you there. So even when it comes to working with Homeowner Prep, you have to be willing to take that first step so we can help you. When we reflect on the study that was done by Freddie, we found that 36% of Americans are mortgage ready. And we talked about just exactly what that means. But it also found that almost 15% of folks were near mortgage ready, meaning they only needed to work on their credit. They had the income and their debt was under control. They met the criteria for their DTI, the debt to income ratio. So is your credit holding you back? Are you worried about credit? Do you even know what your credit looks like? Or are you too scared to look at it? You have to be always mindful about your credit score and your credit reports. You should be keeping an eye on these things. And in fact, the government has provided a way for you to at least look at it once a year through free annual credit report. So you want to make sure that you at least know what's going on with your credit. You want to make sure that there's nothing fraudulent popping up, that you're not a victim of identity theft, because that can take you years to rectify. So definitely keep an eye on your credit, work on that credit. Yes, you may be near mortgage ready, but if you work with Homeowner Prep, we're going to get you mortgage ready so you can buy your first home. When it comes to being willing to take that first step, you just have to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen, right? I mean, some people don't want to pull their credit when they do their mortgage application because they're worried about their credit score dropping. And yeah, it will take a slight hit, but you can make up that score over time. In fact, if you're not ready to buy right away when you pull your credit score in the mortgage application process, chances are by the time you get ready, it'll more than make up those points that were lost. So if you're looking just to get started and understand, hey, I need to take this first step and you need to get over the fear of the unknown, then just ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Homeowner Prep is here to help you take that first step. So the best thing that you can do is to reach out to us. We'll set up a free consultation, let you understand the home buying process, and get you connected with a mortgage lender or a real estate agent in your area. That way you can get the ball rolling on your dream of owning your own home. It's your dream, but it's going to take some work, and it's going to take you being willing to take that first step. If you want to get started with Homeowner Prep, the easiest way to do that is to text the word START to 619-848-3700. That way we can set up that free initial consultation with you. You can also visit our website at homeownerprep.com/start. If you're not ready to go, you can download our free ebook. You can take an online assessment to see how ready you are. And if you're truly ready, you can connect with a real estate agent or a lender in your area directly from our website. If you just have a direct question or a scenario and you just need a quick answer, the fastest way to do that is to actually reach us on our social media channels. You can reach us on Instagram at Homeowner Prep, and we're on all social media platforms. I hope this episode provided you the information that you need and the motivation that you need to take that first step. We're here with you. We can help you along the way. I look forward to providing you with some more great content on the next episode. And until then, be blessed. If you've enjoyed this show and got some great value from it, please be sure to rate and review. And if you're checking it out on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. That really does help us to continue the show and bring in some great guests to help you on your home buying journey.